Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. It's so exciting to meet some of you for the first time. I know I've connected with all of you over Instagram, so it's really nice to like put a face to the name and see you as an actual, real, living, vibrant human. So thanks for taking some time out of your night to come and join this circle and be a part of the community and give yourself some deep healing self-love. So before we fully dive in, just want to just set some housekeeping rules so we all have a great time tonight and everyone feels good and relaxed and supported. The chat box is totally open the whole time. This can be very interactive if you have something to say or if you relate to something someone says or you feel like sharing anything at any point. The chat is totally open. And I just want you all to know that even though we are going to be learning a lot tonight and diving into some very like nerdy, in-depth, like nitty-gritty understanding of the body, and it's going to be really fun, that I'm here to support you guys and I'm not here to just blast you with information and overwhelm you. I want this to be a very like feel very embodied and very empowering for all of you, and just know that it's okay if all of this information doesn't fully like make sense and like click right away. And I just want you to kind of like sit with whatever you feel tonight, whatever comes up, and just know that whenever we dive into any kind of deep healing practice with yoga, we'll be doing some breath work, some meditation, some movement, kind of all of the things together, that it is very natural for stress to be released, which is what we want. That's what we're all here to do. That was like the whole point of this workshop. And just to be open to however that stress is released. Sometimes we might feel it very physically, like, you know, you might like feel like a shiver or shake or shift. Sometimes we might feel it very mentally in different thoughts coming up. Sometimes our energy can fluctuate. So I just want you all to set the intention tonight to just love yourselves and be open to the experience and open to trusting the innate wisdom that your body has to heal and to release and to shed and to clear out what it needs to, and trust that whatever experience you have tonight is what you need. And I'm proud of all of you for listening to that call of like, you know what, this resonates with me and this is what I want. This feels like something that would be really good and really serve me, and listen to that calling to show up here tonight. So I just want to first of all go around and let everyone like introduce themselves, since I know everyone here is a dancer from all different walks of life all over the country, and I just always love to set the community tone. So I'll go first. You guys all know me, I'm Roxie, but I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, which maybe some of y'all didn't know. And yeah, pole dancing is my main style right now. Ooh, one other thing I want you to all share, kind of what brought you to this workshop tonight? Like, what is it that you are looking to receive support on? Just like where you're at, or kind of like what called you here tonight? For me, what called me to host this workshop and to open up this space and dive into this is because understanding all of the different integrated systems of the body really is like my favorite thing to go off on and nerd out about. And it has been something that's been really empowering for me. And I felt the need to really dive into some deep, like nervous system specific healing work, because my life has been really crazy this whole summer. Got married, been running my business, started another job. I'm getting ready for a dance competition in LA next week. And it's just like, there's a lot going on. So I feel that my nervous system and my body, especially now, needs like a lot of like grounding tools that I can like keep my energy resourced and going. So that's where I'm at tonight. I'm excited to just like get some nice healing going. Sydney, do you mind kicking us off, girl? Where are you at? And what kind of dance do you do?
I'm currently in Dallas, Texas, and I'm dancing for Avant Chamber Ballet. I went to the U, which is kind of how I know Roxie, and I graduated with a ballet BFA. So ballet is like my main thing, but I also really like contemporary and modern movement. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I guess I was kind of called to this, just that I've been watching your stories and kind of just like reading your posts and seeing your vibes. And my best friend Juliana did YDA this last round and had nothing but great things to say. I was actually with her this summer in Utah when she was doing it. And just like everything she was talking about and everything that I'm seeing on social media and all of that just kind of really aligns with what I feel like I'm missing in my life right now. Just kind of like a general, I don't know how to, like, as body aware as I am as a dancer, I like don't really know what's going on. like emotionally, like I have no idea what's happening. So it'd be cool to like connect to that and kind of be able to take care of myself a little bit better, because I think that, you know, a lot of people just like need to self-care better, physically, emotionally, all that jazz. So I'd like to start that journey.
Yes, absolutely. You speak to what's true for so many dancers. As in tuned with our bodies as we think we are, we're not that. Like, we're really good at knowing how to make shapes with our body, but sometimes not the best at like fully like being in it and understanding what's going on. I understand, girl. Well, I'm so happy to reconnect with you, babe. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, so excited about it. Thank you.
We're gonna popcorn to our other Texas girl, Mercedes. Hey, babe.
Hi. So I'm in Abilene, Texas, and I teach at a local ballet studio here. But the thing is, I'm doing lots. It's like 9 to 11-year-olds, but I don't get to dance as much. And I still want to retain like strength and build upon it, because we do lots of technique, but we don't really like fine tune, you know, things that are vital as far as like in our footing and building strength. And I think that's really important. So I don't want to lose the stuff that we've developed in class. I want to keep growing. So when I am ready to take classes again, it won't be, you know, as bad.
All of a sudden, just like, oh, 0 to 100. Totally. Oh, awesome. Yay. Oh, I'm so happy. Get to teach all these kids and show them the way. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to take some of this into your own dancing as well, and just how you show up in the world. Thanks for being here tonight, babe. I'm super excited to meet you finally. Let's go to Ariana. Hello. How are you, my love?
Hello, I'm doing well, thanks. Okay, dance for me, as far as my training, was classical ballet. I did it for a year professionally and left because I kind of went down the pretty normal, sad route of having an eating disorder and being pretty depressed and needing to step away from it. And I didn't dance at all for like 5 or 6 years because I was just very bitter about it. But then during the pandemic, I kind of came back to it in a recreational way very slowly. And I actually ended up creating this website called Dancers Anonymous, which is how I met Roxie. And we share stories of things dancers have gone through that are maybe things they wouldn't share otherwise. So it's all completely anonymous. And we actually just launched a peer support group, which was super awesome. We just had our first meeting on Sunday. But I kind of came to this because obviously that's like a really big shift in my life, to kind of reintroduce dance and reopen my heart and mind to all of these stories, which are unfortunately usually very sad and heavy. And as happy as I am to be a part of facilitating that conversation, it does get heavy for me too, because it resonates with me and also reminds me of things that I've seen my friends go through, and I know my friends are still going through. So I definitely need a little bit of like a detox, especially after our meeting on Sunday. It was like very heartwarming, but also like a lot to kind of carry. So I know I need to take care of myself too. And I think that this is like the perfect timed remedy for me. So thank you, Roxie.
Yes, babe. Oh my gosh. I totally understand what you mean. Like space holding it's so amazing. And also like being reemerged into that dance world experience, like things that maybe you thought were healed but weren't, come back up, and old memories and like old feelings, and really being able to relate, it can kind of like, ooh, it can be very visceral. So I totally understand. For those of you who haven't heard of the Dancers Anonymous, you should definitely check it out. And we actually did a vlog podcast kind of like discussion about like really uncovering kind of like the shit that sometimes isn't talked about in the dance world, kind of like the real world struggles that like dancers go through, and how we can like kind of work through it and start changing the systems a little bit from the inside out. So Ariana, you're doing amazing work, and thank you for being on this mission of holding space for dancers and just creating spaces for love. Just love you, girl. So good to connect with you again. Ziva, hey girl, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. So can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm, if you want to call me Ziva or Laura, either way, but so I grew up dancing. I've danced since I was like 7 years old. And then in my adult life, mostly just did dance recreationally, just for fun. Always kept up with it one way or the other. Just it's always been a huge like stress relief for me, and always very grounding, just because like regardless of what type of dancing it is, like it somehow dance allows me to just focus on myself and stay in the moment. So it's always been my go-to for stress relief. Right now, as you know, so I do pole dance, take lessons. I've been doing it for a little over 3 years. So that's my dance now. And but I've always dealt with anxiety a lot throughout my life. And then particularly the last few months, like I've definitely had some changes or extra stress in some of my close personal relationships. So it's just, I don't know, the description, like when I was reading like the stories on Instagram and everything, it just resonated with me as something that like this workshop or class, whatever you want to call it, would kind of help me. And I just need a break and just learn some more things about how to de-stress and whatever nerdy little pieces of information you want to give us. I'm completely open. So.
Yes, get some more tools in your self-care tool bag.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yay. Well, thank you for listening to that within your heart. Thank you for resonating with everything that I was posting. Yeah, we'll definitely get into some good, like feel good, warm, fuzzy, like tonight. Thank you, babe. Rebecca, how are you, love?
I'm doing good. So I'm coming up on my year Polyversary in October.
Yay. Oh my gosh.
I came from a background of not being physically active at all. I've always grew up doing music. And during the pandemic, like all my friends, they could connect over video games and online. And I just was kind of like feeling down. And then I was like, well, I don't have to do what they're doing. I can kind of do my own thing. And so I was looking for belly dancing, couldn't find it, and said, oh, I'll do pole dancing.
Yes. And now here you are a year later. Yay, happy almost anniversary. That's so exciting. I bet that went by really fast.
Yeah, it did. It's crazy. And I'm here at this workshop because I was talking back and forth with you on Instagram because I was looking at your stories and just talking about how personal issues and dealing with trying to be kinder to myself and treating myself the way I try to treat other people, and how I'm kind of lacking in that. And this seemed like a really good workshop to kind of be good to myself.
Yes. Fill your own cup. before you can deal with anyone else sometimes. Yeah, I'm so happy to finally meet you and like connect with you in real life. So thank you for being here. Let's go to Olivia. How was your rehearsal, babe?
Good. We had Nutcracker auditions today.
Oh,
So I'm still in high school. I live like around Philly and I dance pre-professionally. And we do a lot of ballet, but my favorite is contemporary and modern because it's very grounding and releasing in a way that I don't personally get that from ballet. But yeah, it's just my favorite thing to do, especially performing. And I think that the last 2 years have been really hard to like keep a good relationship with dance because we've been deprived of like the purpose of why we do it, at least for me, because sharing what we work on stage is like the ultimate end goal, and we haven't been able to do that. So yeah, I think my relationship with dancing and with myself got to a really low point like last spring, and as I've been trying to build it back up, it kind of like launched me on a bit of a spiritual journey that I wasn't really like aware of before. And so I think that's how I found your Instagram page. Just something just popped up on my like, I don't know, search, whatever, and I just followed. And so then when I saw this workshop, I just thought it was really interesting because I've been trying to learn like as much as I can about different ways of like basically growing yourself, whether that be physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. But I've never really learned much about the nervous system. And so that's why it was intriguing to me, because it's something that I haven't really dived into yet. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Also because I struggle with a lot of mental health problems, and I had no idea that some of that can actually come from the physical body.
Oh, girl, get ready. I'm excited that you're here then. Yes. Good. And I totally understand like missing the performing so much. Yeah. It'll happen again soon. Hopefully with your Nutcracker coming up. The auditions just happened. But yeah, babe, you're such a badass. Like most high schoolers aren't. I know I definitely like wasn't that aware of like what was going on and trying to like do that much spiritual healing in high school. So you're badass. I'm glad you're here. And yeah, thanks for showing up even after like some auditions and working all day. Hopefully this will be a nice, juicy, you're going to sleep really well tonight. All of you are going to sleep really well tonight.
That sounds perfect. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, babe. And last but not least, Kellen. Hey, babe.
Hello.
Hello. And wait, oh my gosh, congratulations on getting, you got bronze, right? At the at your competition.
Thank you. Thank you. That
So
was fun. Scary. Yeah, so I'm also in Asheville, North Carolina, and found Roxie through Tribe, actually, a pole studio that's now closed in Asheville. And just like, drawn in by your whole like grounded energy and radiating between the worlds of yoga and pole, which is really nice to see. But I'm 35, I'm a mother of two. I've been through a lot of stress and heartbreak, and pole has been my spiritual healing as well as an outlet for movement, and it's been like total physical movement mind therapy for me. But it's also been like I started stripping at 19 and now 35, and I've been pole dancing on and off through all of that. But no formal dance training. And I started doing yoga in high school, which is like such a blessing because there was so much I learned about my mind, but also like to take care of my body and alignment. But at this point, I'm like feeling, you know, joint stuff coming in, and certainly like the weight of like life and anxiety and the full on single mom work mode. Like my heart feels it and my joints feel it. And I don't want to quit dancing anytime soon. In fact, I feel like my life as a dancer is just starting. Like I really do energetically feel that.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to move in so much a bigger way and be able to express and share. I love performing, you know, so I want to be able to continue expressing myself, but at like a more healthy way, and also like totally aware that every time I move my body, it affects my mind. And so I'm just like, because I have no training, you know, knowing what to eat, like I'm really good at DIYing, but like I want to do so much better. So that's why I'm here. So thank you for offering.
Thank you for being here. Oh, I love how diverse this group is. Oh my gosh, like this is amazing. And I love that, Kellen, you like feel like, yeah, your dance training is like just beginning, and there's no reason why like it can't continue on. I think personally for me, one of my biggest missions in life is to like break that stigma of like, well, if you're, you know, past your 30s, like your dance career is over. At least that's a big thing in like the ballet and like modern world, especially. Not so much in the pole world, but like just that there's so many ways to empower yourself to know how to like keep your body going and keep it strong and healthy and keep your energy vibrant for the long run, so that you can keep experiencing that healing magic of movement and dance and performing, because it really is like, it's like performing is like a drug. Like there's really not like not anything else like it. So I want to be able to do that for as long as possible. And yeah, you deserve some stress release, girl. If you got 2 kids, you are a warrior. You deserve this so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for sharing. I just love setting the circle. So let's dive into what we came here to do. I want to get everyone grounded first to be able to fully receive this information and feel this information in their body. So go ahead and take a comfortable seat, however feels good. Let your arms and hands rest wherever feels good. When you're ready, close your eyes, letting your shoulders drop down and back away from the ears, finding a gentle opening through the collarbones and the front of the heart. Relax the jaw, relax the brow. Feel your sits bones, your pelvis, and your legs all dropping down towards the earth. As your spine and the top of your head effortlessly floats upwards towards the sky. We'll all start with 3 deep cleansing breaths in through the nose with a nice big sigh out through the mouth. And then letting your breath return to its natural rhythm. And tuning into all of your senses. What do you hear around you? Any background noise? What do you smell? Do you smell anything? What do you feel? What is the temperature of the air around you, or the texture of your clothes on your skin? I'm just taking a moment to check in with you without judgment, without overanalyzing anything. Just check in. How does your energy feel? What thoughts may be on the surface of your mind? How does your body feel? Just checking in. And as you continue to breathe, just knowing that this time is for you and that everything else outside of this container and for this time can wait. And this is for you to be fully here and now. And take a big breath in and stretch your arms up overhead. Uniting the palms together and letting them drop down into the heart. And let your arms rest down, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, the intention for this workshop, as you all know, on a base level, is how to release stress and how to live more present and more energized in your body, and how you can kind of get out of the swamp of anxiety and stressful thinking and just what clusterfuck of the mind sometimes, and drop down into the body and learn how to, as I said, biohack your system. But truly, a deeper intention for this, and what I hope for you all to be able to take with you after this workshop, is to give you a deeper look truly at our body's operating systems, and how our experience of our reality is created beyond just, what we're thinking and perceiving in the mind, but how the body really plays a role in that, and give you the tools to be able to understand these systems and directly connect and kind of intervene and change how they are operating, and kind of empower you through that so that you can live with more flow and more ease and more presence and more energy in your life, and get out of habits of just feeling drained from anxiety and chronic stress and all these things that keep us really playing small and can keep us feeling stuck and can kind of keep us at the level that we're currently at, and can kind of stop our progress of moving forward. So really help you align your physiology with the things that you want most, to align your physical being with the person that you want to be the most, with the dreams that you want the most, and how you can kind of connect your mind, body, and soul to really attract that into your life. So the main myth that I want to bust tonight is that stress and anxiety is a product of the mind. And really quick before we dive in, guys, if you want to have a notebook, I find that helps me stay more present when learning new information. Might want to jot some stuff down, as I'm going to kind of go into a little lecture here, and then we'll get into some movement. But the main myth that I really want to bust tonight is that that your reality is created in the mind. That what you experience, especially when it comes to stress and anxiety, is that it's coming from your thoughts. And not to say that all mental health disorders aren't, the result of thought habits and, loops and patterns of thinking that we get stuck in. Those definitely play a role, but that even those loops and thought patterns and the way that we react and respond and think about things in our mind is actually the result of what's happening on a deeper level. The mind and the way that our human consciousness has evolved is relatively new to the rest of the systems in our body. If we think about human evolution and how we've all come from, come from little bacteria in the ocean to, over the millions of years, evolved over the course of so many different species to now where we are with this human brain and human consciousness that is the way that we think as humans and can like perceive more and like are always thinking and have so many thoughts, and we're, you know, the brain has like such an intelligence, but it's relatively new. And the brain and that part of us really isn't running the show. The shit that is running the show is our systems in our body that are millions and millions of years evolutionarily older and more ancient and more primal than the way our like the different cortexes and lobes of the brain have evolved for us to have human consciousness. So what I want to get you in touch with tonight is those deeper operating systems that have been around millions and millions of years longer than our modern human brain, and how those really are what is running the show here and how you can get in contact with those. And the system that I'm talking about is your autonomic nervous system. So your autonomic nervous system, just like very, very briefly, is the part of your nervous system that controls all of the things that you don't have to think about doing. It's like your digestive system or making your heart beat. Like you don't have to think about like, okay, consciously heart beat, let's keep us alive, or like all of the systems in your body that keep you alive, that are always going all of the time, running things in the background, right? You don't have to think about doing any of those things. Your body is just doing it and reacting to, oh, you're cold or the environment's cold. All right, we're gonna like get the shivers going so that you can heat up, or like, you know, goosebumps, like all the things that just naturally happen in your body that you don't have to think about. That is your autonomic nervous system. And the purpose of your autonomic nervous system, and this is, you know, what goes from our brain down through our spinal cord and connects with like all of our major nerves in our body. It's always gathering data. It's always gathering that sensory data of like what we see, hear, feel, what's going on, and sends that all back to the brain. And then the brain filters that data very, very fastly, like so much sensory information per second through our filters of the brain. And then it makes a decision of how we react to things. Oh, like, do we feel safe? Is everything chill? Or do we react with stress? Because there's the reason this system developed was to keep us alive in the back. Oh, there's a predator coming. Okay, like we're going to shift into survival mode. And that information goes through the brain and then gets sent back to the body. So anyways, the autonomic nervous system, it controls a lot of just our daily living functions, but it also is the thing that can switch us into like survival mode. Its purpose is to help us survive and help us survive day to day with just like daily living functions, and be able to switch into like this hyper like like mode where we can either fight or flight, or in some cases freeze in a defensive style. So in the past, what has been thought of the autonomic nervous system is that there's only two kind of modes that it's in. It's either in the parasympathetic mode, which is like chilling, rest, digest. This is when the body is going through all of its natural functions of digestion, muscle recovery, hormone regulation, all that. And the sympathetic, which is like everything else gets put on pause, the digestive system, every muscle recovery, everything that is not vital in that moment to help you either fight off a bear or run away from a tiger or like survive. That's the sympathetic nervous system. So that's what was kind of thought in the past, like there's these two, it's either one or the other, but the nervous system is much more nuanced than that. And so what I want to introduce you to tonight is polyvagal theory. And polyvagal theory translates to basically many vagus nerves. And the vagus nerve it translates to many modes of the vagus nerve, essentially, the many different operating systems of our vagus nerve. And I want to show you guys a picture of this vagus nerve because it's a very, very important nerve. So hold on one second. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can just get like a visual of what's going on. Where it at? Come here. Okay. Can everyone see this? Yes. Okay. Beautiful. So this is what we're really, this this daddy right here is what we are focusing on tonight, our vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in our body. It is the 10th cranial nerve. It's the longest nerve in our entire body. And this, as I said, maybe you guys saw that I wrote it in, like the nerve superhighway of the body. This is one of the most important communicators in our body that brings information from our brain to our vital organs. And it's like the main communicator between what's going on all down here throughout our digestive system and our other like major organs, our heart, our lungs, everything. And it goes up the throat here, up, and attaches to our brain. So we're talking about the many different states of the vagus nerve. And it's not just either you're relaxed and everything fine, or you're just totally stressed. The nervous system, the body is more nuanced than that. So Polyvagal theory is that there are 3 states of the nervous system rather than 2. And I want to just preface you guys with what these states are, and then we'll get into how they really like, how this shows up in life. So the first state is called ventral vagal. And now this is when we are relaxed. This is that more parasympathetic, like we are relaxed, the body is functioning. This is when we're in our social state. We feel at ease, we're relaxed, we can connect with others. We are able to access our empathy and compassion and like really relate with people. Like we can read facial expressions, we can pick up on social cues and emotions. This is when we're like happy, blissful, playful, like relaxed. This is like the goal of what we want to be in, like that ventral vagal state where we're just like present with life, present with the people in it. We're relaxed, we're chilling. All the systems of the body are regulated. Your digestive system is going smooth, your hormones are regulated, your muscles are recovering, which is especially important for dancers. This is like when your body is kind of going around and being like, all right, gonna fix this up here, like healing happens in this state, the ventral vagal. And then there is the sympathetic activation. This is the second state. So this is mobilized to dispatch threats. This is very like taking action. Your muscles get more tense. They're kind of like flooded with like more blood goes away from the digestive system and into your muscles in case you need to like run away or be like on the ready. So this can show up in, this is like the anxiety. This is what happens when all of a sudden we feel that there is some perceived threat. And this threat isn't always just like a literal life or death situation. This is what's happening when you feel a panic attack starting, or really bad anxiety, or just feel that general like tenseness that you get when you're stressed, you're on edge, you're not tapped in. It's harder to tap into that like social, relaxed, like engaged, empathetic state. So this is more like activated. This is when all the other systems of the body kind of start to shut down and all of our energy goes towards what the body perceives as necessary to stay alive. And then this is what most people get stuck in. This is usually what you feel when you are like really stressed out and just like can't really think straight. You're just like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Like, And this can happen even if you're sitting at home and there's no actual life or death threat, but this system can still get activated if the brain and the body perceives that there is a life or death threat. We'll get into a little bit more of that in a bit. The last part of this third mode that the vagus nerve can get us into is kind of, this is the worst one. This is like emergency shutdown. And this is called the dorsal vagal shutdown. And what happens is when compounded sympathetic activation, the second one, the stress reaction, having that much stress like compounded in the body it's actually dangerous for your health. Like it is there, the sympathetic activation serves a purpose. It does play a role. Like it's not there for no reason, but when it's constantly overactivated, it's dangerous for our health. Like, it's not good to have that much cortisol and those the adrenaline and the stress hormones like going through our body at all times. So what happens is the body, once it has gotten itself good and stressed out, it's like, oh shit, this is too far. We've taken it too far. This is too much. We have to overcompensate and shut this shit down. It's like an emergency like button of just like, oh God, we've got too much stress hormones. Okay, we need to just like blank slate it. And what this looks like, this system, this is the freeze. Everyone thinks that the sympathetic is fight, flight, or freeze, but the dorsal is when we shut down. And so this looks like that feeling of when you're so overwhelmed that you just like collapse. You don't have the energy to do it all. You don't even have the energy to like be stressed about things. You're just like, this can feel very lethargic. This is that feeling of like depression when you just like you're like so stressed and overwhelmed. You feel drowsy. You just feel like heavy, and it's really hard to like resource that energy. You can feel shame. You can feel hopeless. You can feel really disempowered, and just when this happens is usually when you feel like, fuck, like I don't know how I'm going to pull myself out of bed right now. Everything just feels like too much. Everything feels so hopeless. Like I haven't even done anything today, but I'm exhausted. I feel like we can all relate to these different states of being. So those are the three main states of the nervous system. And we all want to try and be operating in that ventral vagal, that like relaxed, chillin', totally open to life state, not like either tense and like agitated, and we don't want to be shut down, just like collapsed. But what often happens is that with the modern day living that we're in, with the amount of things that we all have on our plate, how busy and overstimulating life is right now, our system can get chronically stuck in the sympathetic or dorsal reaction. In fact, most mental health disorders can be traced back and have been proven to be traced back to a system that is chronically stuck in the sympathetic state, that stress activation. And then what happens is that when it's chronic like that, and that, like I said in my stories, like this doesn't show up as like full-blown panic attacks 24/7 and you're just like, oh, like it doesn't show up like that. It's subtle. It's this subtle, low-grade kind of constant state of feeling not okay. And like I said, this doesn't have to be an actual like life-threatening thing that can trigger this. This can be feeling insecure about your job or feeling insecure financially. Any of the things that give us that sense of like base safety of getting our needs met. This can come from social anxiety. If we don't feel comfortable with ourselves, we can feel really uncomfortable around other people and not feel safe and grounded and accepted in social situations. Especially for dancers, there's so much stress that comes and so much disembodiment that comes from like feeling that your body is, a thing to control. It needs to look a certain way. It needs to be a certain weight, height, shape, something. Like if we don't feel that that we're safe in our bodies, that our bodies are good enough, or feel like, either our dance contract or our job or like our approval from our teachers or whatever is on the line, that can make us not feel safe. And that can trigger that sympathetic response. So, and that's much more of like a ballet world thing, but I mean, just especially being women in general, like the world there's so many things that we're always being bombarded with reasons that like our bodies aren't good enough. And if we don't feel our bodies are good enough, we often don't feel safe in our bodies. And that's how there's a lot of things in our modern life right now that can get us stuck in this habit just like any other habit we can have, our body can get stuck in these loops too, and always chronically being activated in stress. And this is what drains our energy, because it takes a lot of energy to be in the defense, to always just feel like we have to either like everything has to be in order and we need everything organized and we need to have all the things on our to-do list done. Otherwise we feel chaotic. We don't feel safe. Like this, over time, whatever it is, how our stress is showing up, and all of this, all of the things that trigger our stress, it might seem like, yes, this comes from the mind because we're thinking about like how I need to get all my to-do list things done and this needs to happen. And what if this person doesn't like me? Or like, did I say something stupid? Did I come off? Yes, that's what's happening in the mind, but that's not what's causing those thoughts. It's not starting in your mind. It's truly starting in the body, because our body, and this is almost the hardest part to explain, how the societal norms and things that we are taught and conditioned to feel or learn or think about the world that we're taught growing up really becomes like, it does affect how our primal operating system feels in the world. So I don't know if that makes sense, but like if we, most of the time, we don't grow up feeling that safe. Like, when was the last time that you felt truly like, I can relax and everything's going to be fine? I don't have to rigidly control and organize and like always be on top of everything for everything to be fine. Have you ever felt that way? That you could fully let go and not worry about anything? I don't think most people have that experience. Maybe when you were a kid, you have it, but pretty soon it comes down to, we don't feel safe on a daily basis. We always are having to work, and it's because of the system that we live in. We always are having to work for money, and if we don't get our financial needs met, then that means our safety and security and base needs aren't being met, which then the body is triggered. The body is literally just wired to survive on like a deep primal level. So if we grow up and for most of our life have experienced, especially most of our adult lives, when we're like all broke and out here and just trying to make it, and in the dance world, you constantly feel like you're not good enough, or you're being judged, or you're not going to get the part, like all of these things that dancers struggle with, it creates this constant feeling of everything's not going to be okay unless I am in that like activated, like taking action, doing all the time, like making sure everything is good and taken care of. Can everyone relate to that on some level? Feeling like, I don't know, when is the last time that I genuinely felt like I could just let go and be, and everything would be totally fine? You guys can put it in the chat or just nod. I feel like I'm not the only one that has experienced that. Yes, I relate. Yeah, exactly. Like, and we get so used to it. We get so used to it over years and years of living in this world and living in this society, and just it starts to feel normal that we're always kind of like doing and busy and like lots going on and overthinking and anxiety and all of that. But that's truly just coming because our body is stuck in this chronic stress state, and it starts to feel normal. And then we start to think, okay, it is all of those anxious thoughts start to become repetitive. It starts to become like the narrative and the dialogue that's constantly going in our brain. And it can start to feel like that's the reason that it's all happening and why we feel drained and tired. But really the reason you feel drained and tired is because all of our bodies are stuck in chronic stress, and all of our energy is going towards that. Like when we are in that state, even if it's subtle and it's not a full-blown panic attack, that's why, like, it doesn't matter how much coffee you have or how much sleep you got. If you wake up and you're just anxious already, that shit is draining. That shit, if your body is in defense, you can't access the energy that your body naturally has to put it towards that ventral vagal, like socializing, engaging, like being present, being creative and being able to kind of go the extra mile. Most of us are stuck in survival mode where we only have the energy to get through like the minimum of what we need to get through to like keep surviving and keep going day to day. Ariana says, yes, it honestly feels so weird to not be in that state. Yikes, right? Like, how many of you have a hard time relaxing or not feeling guilty about relaxing or feeling like, what's that like TikTok that I see all the time where it's like me chilling and my anxiety is like, aren't you worried? It's like, about what? Like, there's always just this constant feeling of like, something's not okay, something's off. There needs to be something that like when the body's in that state, the brain gets trained into always looking for the threat in a protective survival way. It's always like looking for the threat and trying to mitigate the threat or the danger before it happens. That's why we start overthinking and being like, oh my God, did I say something stupid? Did I look stupid? Like, we're trying to mitigate a perceived threat of not being accepted. Because on a primal level, thousands and thousands of years ago, when we were in tribes, out in the plains of Africa, if you weren't accepted and part of the tribe, you were gonna die. Like, no humans survived out on their own when we first became humans and were living in tribes. Like, this goes back millions and millions of years to how our body perceives what means safety and survival and what doesn't. And that's why we start, overthinking and feeling really not confident about ourselves. Or just overthinking every single action. Rebecca says, I've definitely felt this way most of my life. Sydney says, I always have something to worry about, even if I don't need one. Yeah, it's like, and it's not that your brain is like, it's not at all that there's something wrong with you. I think part of the reason we feel even worse then is we feel bad and we feel stressed and worried or have like anxious thinking. And then we feel bad that we feel bad and we start judging ourselves. And then that's when it does become more of like the mental stress, and then that does the mind starts to take over. But on the base level, all of that anxiety is starting because of how the nervous system processes stress and what happens in the brain and body. So let's just check in for a moment, because this is a lot of information. You guys can just either give me like a thumbs up or put in the chat if you have any questions. But is this are you guys understanding kind of the basics of the way the nervous system operates, and this concept of like your stress it's not always generated from the mind, and it's happening deeper. Yes, making a lot of sense. Quite validating, actually. Yes, like, oh my gosh, there's nothing like wrong with you. Like, there's so much stigma around like mental health and anxiety, and just feeling like it can make you feel like, yeah, this is just who I am. And then we start identifying with these these mental illnesses. We start identifying and thinking that's just part of who we are, that we're anxious or depressed or always overthinking. But it's not. It's just how your body on a deep, like every single function in your body starts in your nervous system. Every single thing. Kellen, the second vagal state is the sympathetic. So we've got ventral, which is like the goal, and then sympathetic, and then the dorsal shutdown. Yeah. So, and then this also, I won't get into this super deep, but this also all connects to even the holding patterns of your body and your fascia and your movement patterns, and how healthy those movement patterns are, and if they are going to either prevent injury or increase risk of injury. So that's something that we really dive into in Yoga for Dance Academy. We don't have time for all of that tonight. But I just really want to impart on you how deeply this system runs and how it controls every part of our body, not just how we process stress, but truly like how we move physically to based on what state our body is in, because the nervous system is also deeply intertwined with our fascia system. And for those of you who don't know, our fascia is our connective tissue system throughout the body that basically holds us together and dictates how, like, it's just as important in holding us together and holding us upright and allowing us to move as our skeletal system. But it's much more, it's like our second nervous system, and the way that it interacts with our nervous system, both of those really go hand in hand with how we move through the world. So maybe that'll have to be something for another workshop, getting into the more ways that this really shows up, like physically, in like how good your movement habits are, and if you can do like proper alignment or not based on the state of your nervous system. But one more picture that I wanted to show you guys was just to further impart how dope the nervous system, or how important it is how it also interacts with our energy body system and the chakra system specifically. So chakras in Eastern medicine are like these energy vortexes in our body that really control how energy moves throughout our body, but they also play a huge role in even our developmental states on a psychological level of how our energy pathways developed from when we were a baby in the womb to full-on adults. Anyways, what I want you to know is that, like, with these main 7 chakras from the root all the way up to the crown, there are, and this is what blows my mind, and this is what makes me so passionate about combining Eastern and Western medicine, is that, you know, in India, thousands and thousands of years ago, they were picking up on these major energy centers throughout the body that now modern science can prove that there are major nerve plexes in those exact same spots in the body. So as you can see, it kind of correlates over here between where every single chakra is connected to one of our vital organs of the endocrine system. I mean, just blows my mind every time. So we've got the crown chakra, which is exactly where the pineal gland, and then the pituitary gland for the third eye, the throat chakra, the thyroid, and then with the heart, the thymus, and then the solar plexus is the adrenals and pancreas, and then we've got the spleen and the liver, and then the ovaries, and just, oh, it's all lined up. And then you can see right here, we've got these major bundles of nerves coming off of that central channel, the vagus nerve, all lining up exactly along where the major endocrine system organs are and the major 7 chakras. So the nervous system plays a role in all of those and is very deeply intertwined with how our hormones are regulated in our body and our energetic blockages and movement through the chakra system. So I hope that all blew your mind a little bit as much as it has blown mine. Again, we don't have time to get into all of this tonight. This is really what we explore inside of YDA, because the rabbit hole goes deep, y'all, but I just felt like that was worth sharing. So the last thing I will get into, and this is really pivotal to understand, to not just get out of feeling stress every day. Like, yeah, that's great. And that is why we're here, to try and mitigate our daily stress. But if you have big goals, which I know like all of it, most dancers do, we have, whether they're like big career aspirations or just like goals of how we want to develop as a human and things we that want to experience in this life. Whatever it is that you like imagine, like, oh, I really want to get there one day, or it would be amazing if like I could do this awesome thing, or like manifest this thing, or go here or create this in my life. The nervous system also plays a role in if you can actually do that and level up in life, or if you will self-sabotage yourself along the way. So I want all of you right now to take your journal, and we're going to take a moment, and I want you to just kind of free write. This can be very stream of consciousness. What it is that is your biggest aspiration in life currently? What is the biggest dream? And I don't want you to think like realistically here. Like imagine like I have a magic wand and I could like, boom, make it happen. This can be career, like literally anything. This can be you writing like who is your highest self? How does she show up? Like the most wise, strong, powerful, confident, vibrant version of you. What does her life look like? What kind of opportunities does she have? What is she really stepping into? And I want you to just take a moment here and like write down all of your biggest goals, maybe even some goals that feel too big, that are just like almost scare you a little bit to write down. Like, what is it that is outside of your comfort zone right now that you dream of either having, doing, or being? What is something that feels like, oh my, like you would run naked through the streets of joy if it was true, but maybe part of you feels like, I don't know if that could actually be true. It feels almost too good or too like perfect or too amazing to be true. And just everyone in the chat real quick, drop a couple things that came to mind for you. Is like, oh fuck, like this, give it to me, that would be so amazing. But like the biggest thing that you feel drawn to having or experience or being. Callan says, waking up with a sense of joy regularly. This is something I used to experience when I was younger. Mercedes says, to be a featured dancer in a tuxedo video or be a firefighter. Yes. Sydney says, I want to be a principal leading dancer in a prominent company. Dancing in gorgeous spaces with people that inspire me in cities that make me feel alive. Yes. Olivia says being able to dance, perform, and create, do what I love and be stable with it and happy, and also travel. Yes. Rebecca says, I want to be able to trust my intuition so I can move forward with energy work and divination. Yes, step into that beautiful space holding. Ariana says, I want to experience unwavering self-love every day and finally not feel like I have to prove something to be worthy. Yes. So now, Ziva says, stop worrying every day so much about the future and trusting that I'm on the right path. Trust. Ooh, yes. So a lot of these have to center around like joy or trust or peace. Be dependent on myself. Yes, feeling safe within yourself. And I want you to journal again. What about that? How do you feel when you think about that? And is there anything in that that scares you? Like, what about that makes you feel uncertain? Whether it's changing the way you live or stepping into a new space of leadership or a next level of like being that fucking bitch. Like, what is it that, what fears come up when you think of this like larger than life, like higher self version of you? How does it feel in your body even to think about what it would actually be to fully go for it in whatever these aspects are? And just ponder, when you think of this, what is that gut? Like, is there any gut reaction that immediately wants to be like, but that's crazy, or maybe not yet, I'm not ready. Maybe once I feel more ready, or something about it even feels like, well, that's just like not realistic or something. Notice that. Not just the part of you that's like, oh, that would be so amazing and exciting, but is there any part of you that is almost resistant to truly doing whatever it takes to make that a reality? What fears or insecurities does thinking about this next level up in your life, or this higher version of yourself, this larger than life, what comes up when you think about that, about truly living that, embodying that, and what it would take to get there? If anything, if nothing, it's great. But if something, I really want to kind of focus on bringing that up. And we don't have to share these, but I want you to know too that most of what, and maybe you can all relate to this, when we think of that next like level of ourselves, that more empowered or badass or like totally trusting, at ease, like self-loving, confident version of us, whatever that looks like, or whatever we're doing, most of the reason that we can feel like, oh, this would be great, but I don't know how to get there, or it feels too hard or feels overwhelming, or sometimes, we will often make up, and I see this across the board, this is what I always see in all of my YDA students when we do this kind of deep like manifesting work, or anyone, is that there's there can always be ways that we either make up excuses of why we can't either put in the work or the time, or don't have the skills, or we distract ourselves. We have shiny object syndrome, where we're just bouncing around to like the next thing and think, but without really like sitting in and doing the work that it requires, or we straight up just like stop ourselves from even starting because we think on some level that it's not even possible, or it would be too hard, or it's just, you almost can't fathom what that would even look like. And oftentimes when it comes to some of our biggest, scariest dreams, like the things that are scary and really exciting at the same time, again, we might think that it's our mind and our mindset around those things. But surprise, it's not. It is your nervous system once again. So if any of you felt, as you were writing this or thinking about this, felt a twinge of like hesitation, like, yeah, that would be great, but I don't know, how realistic is it? Or like, do I have what it takes? Or if any doubt or fear or resistance came up, it's from your body. Remember, our nervous system's one goal in life is to keep us safe. And often safe is what we already know. It's what is already within our comfort zone. It is what is predictable. It is what is familiar. Your body doesn't understand that oftentimes staying stagnant and staying the same, that there's no safety truly in that. But our body is sometimes tricked into thinking that, in its body way of thinking, that change and uncertainty and all of like the unknown is dangerous. And so if we're trying to, on a mental level, right, it's always mental, like the vision boards or the journaling or like the dreaming, it's like our mental part of us and our spirit might feel like really drawn to this bigger than life, more empowered, happier, more confident like version of us. But if your body and your nervous system is not on board with expanding that comfort zone and that zone of what it feels is safe, it won't let you do it. It will sabotage you every step of the way in a primal desire to protect you. So, and this is something I've spoken about before on my page, is that it doesn't matter what kind of affirmations you have, what kind of like mindset affirmations you have, if your nervous system is not on board with that next level of your life and how that would change you and how you would step into uncertainty, as we always do with new things and new versions of ourselves and new ways of acting, that feels unpredictable. And the nervous system and our survival systems hate unpredictability. They're like, I would rather stay in what I know and what I can predict. And this is why we stay stuck, and this is why we stay stuck in our own shit, in our own bullshit, because it feels safer to stay in it, in that familiar misery, than it does to expand beyond what we know, or maybe what we've been stuck in for so long, that we'll stay in what is maybe miserable and sucks, but it's predictable. At least in this job that we hate, we know how much we'll be making, and we know and we can predict that like it's going to be this exact experience every day. And you know, we don't have to step into the unknown of like putting ourselves out there for something better. Well, this relationship might not be like that great, but at least I know that I'll have someone to like come home to and like someone to talk to, and there's that predictability there. Or, you know, maybe this isn't the dance company or the dance job that I really like, but I mean, I don't know if I'll get something else if I leave. So I'll just stay in it because at least it's something, and it's familiar and it's predictable. Your nervous system, it doesn't like change. It doesn't like to put you out there in the unknown. And that's just that deep primal survival. part of you, and this part of you is 500 million years old. It's really challenging to have a logical conversation in English with this part of us. You can't affirmation your way to convincing the nervous system that you are safe to step into the next level of like what we call widening your window of tolerance, which is what your nervous system's stress level tolerance it can handle. And if you have a really small window of tolerance, that means that you are easily triggered into stress. Like, oh, you sweat the small stuff big time. Like every little thing stresses you out. New experiences, new people, new places. Like it gives you hella anxiety. But this is like the climax of the workshop. If you can widen that window of tolerance through biohacking your system and training your nervous system to not be so easily triggered into stress, you can widen your comfort zone and you can start living beyond what feels familiar and like whatever it is that you're sick of being stuck in right now, personally or career or whatever your life, like all the levels. If you can train your nervous system to be in that ventral vagal state more of the time and widen that window of tolerance, you widen your comfort zone. And whatever is in your comfort zone is what will come easy to you. So if you want big dreams, if you want to step in that next level, if you want to be like recognized or paid differently, you have to be comfortable with that reality and what that would require and how you could hold that kind of responsibility of being that next higher level of yourself. And you have to, of course, you have to have the visualizations and the good positive mindset about it. And I'm not at all saying that affirmations are dumb. Like, I love me a good affirmation and like positive visioning and all of that. But truly, if you don't do the work to also like clear stress from your body continually, especially conscious of it when you are trying to make big changes in your life happen, it's just going to feel like a battle the whole freaking way there. So you have to get your body on board with whatever your mind and spirit are like envisioning and really wanting to call in. So that's why this all has to happen at the same time. You have to heal your body, get yourself out of that chronic stress state, and then come in with the positive affirmations and like mental, emotional, like inspiration. And when that all happens together, like there is so much opportunity and so many things for you to be able to access, and so many like your self growth and the opportunities that you have in your life and what you feel confident to like do. It expands. It'll take you to that like glass ceiling and break it. So it's exciting stuff. And the best part is that actually the body is the easiest thing to train. The body and the physical part of us is the most adaptable. So it's the best place to start. And when you start with the body, it'll trigger this positive ripple effect throughout the rest of your being. And then if you come in with some good positive like mental shifts and affirmations, I mean, then it's just like a double whammy. So we're going to focus on the physical part tonight. But I just want to check in as we move into this little short practice here. And this is going to be a series of exercises that I want you to do. And your homework is going to be to, every time that you either start to manifest something that you're working on, or you think about how you want to grow or make progress or change things in your life, I want you to do these exercises, because you're going to train your system to feel calm and at ease and at peace when you're thinking about or doing something that is helping you towards that next step of wherever you want to be. So that you can train your body to not resist the change and to feel safe and to feel good about whatever change it is that you're trying to make. So just want to check in with you all. Does this all like resonate? Does this make sense? The big picture kind of how this all operates in your life. You can even, yeah, give me a thumbs up or a shimmy or a something in the chat. Yes. Beautiful. So let's now, we've talked about it, we've thought about it, we've journaled about it. Now let's experience it, okay? So we're gonna move into our little movement exercise portion of the night of, this is something you can do. This is recorded, so you guys can all, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. You can always come back to this and do this little routine. Anytime that you catch yourself either feeling really drained or really overwhelmed, or having really negative thoughts or feeling hopeless or, you know, worthless or whatever it is, just remember, just don't even try to deal with it in the mind. Be like, okay, mind, like whatever's happening in the mind is just the symptom of what's happening in the body. So just go straight to the source of what's happening up here and do this little routine. So what we're going to do, clear your space, get your yoga mat ready. And we're going to move through a couple different states of the nervous system. We're going to move into a little bit of the sympathetic activation just to release anything that might be on the surface of the body, any stress, kind of get the jitters out. And then we're going to drop down into that like deep parasympathetic ventral vagal state of just being like, totally blissed out, relaxed, and not. My goal for you is to experience the rest of your evening feeling like you can let go and you don't have to be doing a million things and be rigidly in control to feel safe tonight, and that you can have a very easeful, blissful, open, flowy rest of your night. So we are going to just start seated. And what I want you to do is, or yes, Olivia will wait. Is everyone ready? Everyone good, ready to move? Set up, yay, amazing, beautiful. All right, so we're gonna start. And first what we're gonna do is I want you to make fists with your hands and just squeeze every single muscle. Squeeze, 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 squeeze your butt, your core, your cheeks, everything. And then relax, be a noodle. Noodle, totally just let. Okay, we're gonna do that 3 more times. So I want you to squeeze like every muscle that you can feel and then totally like noodle. So squeeze, 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 and noodle. Just be a butt. And squeeze, 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 scrunch your shoulders up, squeeze, and butt. And last time, squeeze, squeeze, like feel anger and stress and anything that's been pissing you off, and then let it go. Now we're gonna move into a downward facing dog for a moment. Stretch out here, shake your head out, yes and no. I'm going to scoot this back so you can all see me. So walking it out through down dog, taking any movement that feels good here for a second. I'm gonna do 3 more of those deep cleansing breaths. So you're gonna inhale through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Really let it go. Be loud and proud with it. Beautiful. Inhale that right leg up to the sky, little stretch here. And exhale, step that foot forward, drop that back knee. We're gonna take a nice little lunge here. And then inhale that right arm up to the sky, take a twist. Exhale, drop that right elbow towards the left hand. So you're kind of crunching and twisting here. Inhale, unravel. Exhale, twist. So we're getting a little mobilization through the spine, getting that nerve superhighway primed to communicate some good signals up to your brain. Inhale one more time, open. Exhale, twist. Feel that nice twist through the upper thoracic spine and the neck. Beautiful, hands down, tuck that back toe and step back to down dog. Once again, I'm just kind of getting any jitters out of the body. And inhale that left leg up to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, low lunge, drop that back knee. Left arm comes up, twist. Left elbow towards the right hand, curl. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down, tuck the back toe, stepping back to your down dog. And then drop your knees coming into a tabletop here. Now just take a few moments of organic movement. Just close your eyes. You can move your spine, circle your head and hips in any way that feels good. Just kind of getting any stuck, stagnant energy out there for a moment. Let it feel good. And now what we're gonna do is some lion's breath. So this is very cleansing, very clearing. Let it feel fiery, like stress, anger, frustration is just like leaving your body. So what you're gonna do, you can watch me and then join in. You're gonna inhale and round. You're gonna exhale, flip your hair, stick your tongue out. You really wanna get that. What we're trying to do is stimulate the part of the vagus nerve that goes down here through the jaw and the throat. So inhale, exhale, let it go. Inhale, exhale. It's okay, you look crazy. We all look crazy, it's fine. Just roll with it. And then sink back to child's pose for a moment and just ground in. Ground the forehead and the third eye to the floor. And just breathe into the back of the body for a moment. Relax. Send yourself some love. Really breathing into the back of the lungs here, the back body, even into the low back. And now you can peek over and watch me. We're gonna do one very cleansing. This is like clearing your energy field and really like throwing off stress. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna come down to a hover, like in child's pose. You're gonna squeeze your booty and your core to come up. Circle your arms forward, back, and then bring your hands together, bring your thumbs to your third eye. Do a little bit of an arch back, and then again, forward, and you're gonna go and like let it out, kind of that same lion's breath. So you can take this as slow or as fast as you want. Please don't smack your forehead on the ground, and it looks like this. So just join in when you're ready. Really let your arms fly like you're flinging stress out. You're clearing out any old stagnant energy from your body. Let it feel really empowering. Squeeze your booty at the top. And last time, come down back to a child's pose for a moment. Just feel your energy, feel into your body. Let your body feel a little bit tired. Let it relax. Bring your hands to the floor, pressing up to that tabletop. Taking any last movement here that feels good. Really tuning in, listening to your body. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna come to sit. And everything we're doing is sending signals to awaken and activate and tone the vagus nerve here. So what we're going to do, because a lot of the vagus nerve happens to be in our digestive system, and so this might seem counterintuitive to stress release, but we are going to do some breath of fire to send energy signals, these pulses through the vagus nerve up to the brain to fully bring us like fully present and embodied. So if you've never done breath of fire before, we're going to do it right now. And here's what you're going to do with your fingers in here. So not a full fist, but like a little half fist. Thumbs really strong. Okay, guys, we're just looking a little crazy here. It's just what we do in yoga to get the magic and the benefits. You're going to pump your belly and feel like you're pulling your belly button in towards your spine as you do a sharp exhale through the nose, passive inhale. So it'll look like this. Okay, so just squeeze. You can take this at your own pace. Energy through the arms, energy through the central channel here. You can close your eyes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up, connect your thumbs above the head. Hold the breath at the top. Close your eyes, go within. Exhale, cactus arms, open up through the heart. We're going to take that twice more. So when I say inhale, you're going to reach your arms up. You're connecting your hands like this above your head and hold that inhale at the top and feel that energy in your body. So let's take it again. Arms out, inhale, and exhale. Visualizing energy coming up through the body. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hold at the top, squeeze. Exhale. Open up and stretch. Maybe feeling a little bit of heat. Just know it's very cleansing, purifying. Last time, arms up. Drop those shoulders. Make sure you're not arching. You're sitting up nice and straight. Inhale and exhale. As you're doing this, visualize your most empowered, joyful, confident, grounded self. Inhale. Visualize you doing whatever it is that you want to do the most. Your most powerful, joyful, confident self. Exhale. Stretch. Now relax and just take a moment, sit and let your breath be natural. Feel your sits bones and your pelvis dropping heavy towards the earth, rooting you here, anchoring you here. Just checking in with the body, see how you feel. Maybe you feel good and very awake and lucid maybe. Now, pressing your palms together. Now we're still in the very much releasing, cleansing, purifying portion of this practice. This will be the last thing, and then we'll transition into deep release. So you're going to press your hands together pretty strongly. I think you almost want to feel like a little shake here, like you're fighting. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale deeply. You can relax. Exhale fully. And all the breath out. Hold your breath out at the bottom, and you're going to press. Hold that breath out and press really strong until you feel that autonomic nervous system response that you're going to take a breath. So you can we'll stop for a moment. We're going to do this. Everyone's going to be on their own rhythm here because everyone's going to do this differently. I want you to do this 3 times. You're going to inhale fully, exhale fully, hold the breath out at the bottom and press until your body, it's just going to naturally take over and go. Like take a big breath and then probably go like relax. And that's what we want. We want to feel like it's almost like a like release. So just let the body do what it does here. Okay. You do it 3 times. So move at your own rhythm. Once you've done your 3rd breath, you can let your hands come down and let yourself feel maybe that sense of like, you might feel a little tired, maybe a little, however you feel. Just know that we have helped your autonomic nervous system get into that space where it is ready to really let go of some stress. And we've opened up our energetic channels to now let any lingering stress that might be residually in the body to now clear out. So go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to do a little bit of box breath. So we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold out 1, 2, 3, 4. And now continue this on your own for a moment. Inhaling for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold out for 4. Drop your shoulders, relax your shoulders down. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Breathing in and out through the nose. Tuning into really feeling your body. You might feel a slight buzzing energy. And then take your hands Begin to massage that area beneath your jaw and behind your ears, in front of your ears. Breathing nice and deep. And if you feel at any point like you need to let out a big sigh or yawn or feel your body shift in any way, please let that happen. Please let your body do whatever feels good here. Beautiful, let that go. Bring your right hand to the top of your head and your left hand to your right side here. Wrap it around. You're gonna let that hand drop that head over to the right. Just get a little stretch here. We're not forcing or cranking anything. It's very gentle. You're holding yourself with the left hand. Just breathe here for a few moments. Let yourself feel relaxed. You might feel a little tired or a little drowsy or maybe very alert. What we're going to do is keeping your head facing the way it is. You're not going to turn your head at all, but with your eyes, you're going to look up to the left. So we're leaning to the right. We're going to look up to the left and hold our gaze. Just kind of focus. You can keep blinking, but just kind of stare off, space off in that direction. You're going to breathe here. Just breathe and feel with every exhale, you're really releasing, really letting go. Let your forehead relax. And then inhale, release, look to the center. Might feel a little dizzy sometimes after doing that, and that's totally natural. Other side, left hand to the top of the head, right arm wraps around the ribs. Gentle stretch over. We'll just breathe here for a moment. Now keeping your head facing this way with the eyes, looking up towards the right and holding your gaze there. And just breathing. If you feel that you need to sigh or shift or feel like any sensation in the body, let that happen. And then coming back to the center, closing your eyes and just sit for a moment. Being fully present in your body, affirming to yourself, you are safe, you are supported, you are loved. You are safe, you are supported, you are loved. And gently, just keeping your eyes just slightly opened. We're just gonna make our way onto our backs. Maybe you wanna let your knees fall side to side, that might feel nice. Coming onto your back, hugging your knees into your chest here, just doing a little rock side to side. Massaging out your low back. Extend that left leg out, hug the right knee into the chest here. And let that right knee fall into the right elbow crease out to the side for a moment. Opening up through the hips and let your breath drop into your belly. Exhale, let that knee fall over to the left side, taking a twist here, and spread your arms out to the side like a T. Breathe here. And finally, what we're going to do is really tone the vagus nerve. So we're going to direct vibrations right to the nerve where it connects in with our voice box, our vocal cords, and give it a little vibration and really signal that the body can drop into a state of total relaxation. So you're going to inhale. You can watch me for a moment. We're going to inhale, take that right arm over to the left. So both your arms are here. And then as you exhale, you're going to do a bumblebee breath. So this is just like oming, but with your mouth shut. So this is what it looks and sounds like. Exhale, or inhale, sorry. And exhale. Taking that full length of the exhale, move that hand. So just like you were doing an om, but keep your mouth shut. So do this at your own pace. I believe you're all on mute. So I'll mute all of you. Yes. So just go for it. Don't worry about how you sound. Just do this a couple times. And do your last time. Just taking a moment in the twist to rest. And again, take a moment to think about whatever it is that you wrote down. What is it that you want the most? And let a gentle smile come to your face, again, using that body language to talk directly to your neural pathways. And in this moment of calm and total surrender and relaxation, just take a moment to really visualize what it is that you want. What does your dream life look like in your mind? Staying nice and calm, breathing nice and deep as you visualize that version of you. And as you exhale, roll back to the center and switching sides. Right leg goes out straight, left leg hugs in. Let that knee fall into the left elbow crease here out to the side, getting a little opening through the hips, and then breathe down into the belly. Exhale, take the twist, arms out to the side. And do 3 more bumblebee breaths, just like we did on the other side. So inhaling, reaching towards the other arm. And just breathe here for a moment. And internally affirming to yourself, I am powerful. I am confident. I have everything I need to make my dreams a reality. Everything I want is a possibility. In every moment, I am attracting what I want most to me. Exhale back to the center. And then bring both legs up into the air here for a moment. Put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And feel that gentle rise and fall of the breath underneath your hands. Letting gravity reverse its flow on your body. This pose is amazing for helping you drop into relaxation. It directly communicates to your nervous system and to your body to switch into that rest, digest, recover, heal, chill out mode. Let your brow relax, let your jaw relax, let your shoulders relax, your feet and toes and stomach, let it all relax and let go. You are safe, you are supported, you are loved. Gently bend the knees in towards your chest, let the feet drop down. Bring your feet about as wide as your yoga mat, maybe a little less, and let your knees fall in together. So they should feel totally relaxed here, like you completely let go. Should feel really nice on your hip flexors and low back. And then direct your breath into your belly, using your diaphragm here. So letting your belly gently rise and expand as you inhale. And let it deflate and fall back towards the ground as you exhale. And let these affirmations wash over you as you drop into this nice state of total ease and letting go. Everything is working out. Best case scenario. Everything is working out. Best case scenario. I trust in myself and my life path. I trust in myself and my life path. Affirm to yourself, I am worthy of love and I deserve the best. I deserve the best. There is nothing that you are not worthy of.
There is nothing that you desire that you do not deserve. You deserve it all, truly. You deserve happiness, you deserve love, and support, and ease, and joy. Affirm to yourself, joy and ease come naturally to me. Joy and ease come naturally to me. Continue to breathe, keep your body open, keep your heart open, completely relaxed. Allow yourself to completely let go and surrender to gravity and allow the floor and the ground and the earth to hold you. Just allow yourself to drop down and let go. With each exhale, releasing any tension in your body. Know that you don't have to be in control all of the time to be safe. And that you don't have to be perfect to be loved. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a nice deep breath. Begin to take any movement that feels good. Gently waking your body back up. Let yourself roll to one side into a little fetal position. And gently press yourself up. Just staying in this nice, juicy, meditative state. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a little drunk, yoga drunk, the yoga high. We'll take one last breath together. Inhale all that goodness up. And exhale the hands down to the heart. Relax your shoulders. And then give yourself a big hug. Just give your body some love. Oh, your beautiful body. It's so intricate, so wise, so insane that we can alter our state of reality just through a few exercises. And then wiggle it out. Give a little shimmy. Relax. Yeah. All right, so everyone do a dance move to embody how you're feeling right now. Nice. I'm seeing a lot of juicy, wiggly, yeah. So you're probably gonna feel, hopefully you are feeling a little like floaty, a little relaxed, a little juicy. And let this feeling carry
carry you out through the rest of your night. I hope that you all continue to move with some ease and flow and softness. Hope you all have an amazing sleep tonight. I just want to check in and see how everyone's doing. You can write in the chat, or if you want to turn on your mic and share how that experience was for you, or if you have any questions about anything we've talked about tonight. Circle is open. That was lovely. Yay, you're so welcome. Yeah, thank you for practicing. Does anyone have any questions or anything you want clarity on in terms of what we just did, why we did any of it, or anything from the lecture? I was so tense before this class and now I feel better. Yay! I do feel so much more relaxed and do have that floaty feeling. Yes, it's like, who needs drugs when you have breath work and yoga? Definitely a yoga high. Yay. Yay, that was wonderful. I loved it. Yay, amazing. Okay, well, I want to take.
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
So I feel very like physically relaxed, but I feel like a little bit wired, like energy. Is that normal? I felt like at the end in Shavasana, like I usually can melt into it pretty quickly, but I had a really hard time actually like fully letting it like stop feel kind of like this. I don't know if that's normal, but I'm curious.
So as I said at the beginning of class, there's a lot of different ways our bodies can, so what we have just done is opened up kind of the floodgates for our body to like let go of unnecessary tension and stress. Sometimes we feel very floaty and we're like, oh, I feel so relaxed. And like the process of stress release can be very like relaxing. And sometimes it's more like, you feel it can almost bring things up to the surface. Maybe like old residual stress or feeling of like, oh, it'll go away, and just keep breathing through it. Just know that for all of you guys too, whatever you feel, like you might feel really floaty and in an hour just feel totally like, oh, I'm like angry or like frustrated out of nowhere, have like a sudden mood swing. And just know that after doing like a very deep practice like this, that it's natural. It's your body doing what it needs to do to release whatever is feeling. So Ariana, it's totally natural and totally fine. You did it right. That if you're feeling any kind of way, that means there's movement happening in your body. Stuck energy is being released. Things are being moved. So it's ultimately good. Just keep breathing. And you also might just feel like very wired in a good way, like energized, because as I said, when you release stress and your energy isn't being put towards being in stress state, you all of a sudden are going to have a lot more energy. So you might just be like, whoa, like, why am I all of a sudden energized? Because your energy is now being redirected to like other things and not being in stress mode. So that could also be that. Ziva said, I started crying a little when you were making the statement that we don't need to be in complete control to be safe. Yes. It can be so emotional to realize how we like the things that we hold on to. So thank you for being so like vulnerable and letting those tears come through and the emotion. It's also good to release that and just let it come through. Libby said my laptop died for a second right at the end. I think I missed that affirmation. It was just that you don't need to be in control to be safe. You don't have to control everything or even yourself. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to be some perfectly organized, efficient machine to be good enough or something along those lines. So yeah, whatever you experience tonight, you all just like trust that your body is like letting go of stress. We've really just opened up so many energetic channels. So just be gentle, be loving, eat some nourishing food, drink plenty of water, of course, stay hydrated. And if this work if you guys felt really good in this class, if you felt like you really enjoyed learning about how these systems interact on a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual level, and really enjoy doing these kinds of deep dive practices with education. This is really what we do on a major level in Yoga for Dance Academy, which I'm sure all of you have heard. I know some of you are interested in joining the next round. So this is what we do on a deep level. Everything that we just touched on tonight, this is just like scratching the surface of what we get into inside the program, and we really get into more of even diving into the chakra system and how the nervous system interacts with our physical movement patterns, and how we can rewire that to move with more freedom, access new levels of flexibility and openness and mobility in the body, and also get out of movement habits that can cause chronic pain, stiffness, injury, and lots of self-development too, so that your every part of your being, your physical, your mental, emotional, everything is aligned for you to really step into what it is that you want to be, do, have, or experience in your life. Because you really do have that power to be, do, and have everything that you want. If you just get your whole system on board with being and doing and having all of that. And some of the results that have come out of the program for some of the alumni have been really incredible, from people healing deeply rooted childhood trauma to getting to work with the people of their dreams, or get the career opportunities of their dreams, or just, I don't know, it's been really amazing. So if you feel called to dive in deeper into this work, just connect with me afterwards, send me a DM. Enrollment is open right now. If you feel called and feel like you're in a place in your life where you're really wanting to go deeper into all of this and heal on all levels. So yeah, that is our workshop for tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and just being part of this circle. I hope you all had fun and enjoyed this, and enjoyed getting to connect with everyone and meet some other awesome dancers who are dedicated to their well-being and health and healing all across the country. So so much love to you all. Does anyone have any final questions or anything before we wrap up here? Yeah.
Sorry. Do you have that sequence like written down, or like a way that we could revisit it again?
Yep. So this whole meeting has been recorded, and I'm going to upload it on YouTube. So you can actually just do this exact class again and just skip to whenever we started, just skip to it if you need. Yeah. So absolutely do that. I could send you like my notes, but they're pretty random. Like they're in Roxie language of like arms to the left, breathe. No, like it doesn't make any sense. So just I'm just gonna upload this later, because there's a lot of people who wanted to do it who weren't able to make it tonight. So yeah, anyone else? Anything? Beautiful. Well, have an amazing night, all of you. Sleep so good, like really take it easy. Or if you're feeling wired, go dance around. I don't just listen to your body, do what feels right. And I'm really looking forward to connecting with you all in the future. So thank you for being here tonight, everyone. So much love to all of you. Mwah! Have an amazing evening. Mwah! Bye.
Bye.
Bye.